if
with
you're
my
if
two
you're
more
using 8 snowballs to hit someone off and they leap back on, that's also a skill issue.
That's a skill issue. That's a
Okay,
skill
so
issue.
even then, say I use one snowball and they leap.
Here's what you should do. They leap back on, right?
Yeah.
You turn around behind them and wait for them to turn the stairs, and then you start spamming snowballs
But then
and
you
put them
waste all
away
your
from the goal.
snowballs, so what's the point?
That doesn't matter though, because they have no leap and you have no snowballs. It's a normal fight, and if you don't win that fight, it's a skill issue.
Yeah, then it becomes...
I was gonna say, like, if you don't like skill-based matchmaking, it's a skill issue.
Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast, the podcast regarding everything inside Minecraft. I'm Insane Orbitz, joined again today with my co-host Jakester YT MCP. How are you today, Zeus?
I'm good, Orbitzz. How are you?
I'm doing decent, thank you very much. And a new update just dropped on the Hive, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like one of the biggest. It's gotta be the biggest update, right?
Probably, and it wouldn't be any fun if it was only me and you talking about this, because you know,
True.
although we have opposite views, we need a third person to kind of split down the middle. So who have we got here today?
We have Potato Pie 25, the ultimate server reviewer.
Yo, what's up? Hello.
Haven't you
Yes,
just
I'm server guy.
haven't you just started a new series regarding server reviews?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect
I did.
timing.
I have started a new series. I've done Galaxite already. I'm reviewing different servers in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. So I had Galaxite, got more. I mean, we're gonna get around to all the featured servers and potentially non-featured servers in the future. So
Can we
yeah.
have any update on maybe when you get into the Hive, like month-wise, or do you want to
I was just
not
about to say.
Probably within the month.
Oh, that's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. A lot of drama to be had there from a partner
For
on
sure.
Potato Pie. So,
Yep.
before we start, and so actually, Jake, do you want to give a little rundown, and then I'll say what I want to say of what this podcast is going to be?
Sure. On this podcast, we're gonna be talking about like pretty much everything about the arcade, about what happened, what people think, what the games are, stuff like that.
And we're going to be touching on some drama.
Yeah.
Drama. Ooh.
So just before we start that, really quickly, I just want to get something out of the way here. So you've been on 2 podcasts, Potato. This is your 3rd one. Hopefully not your last. Hopefully today doesn't, make you not want to come on the podcast anymore. But just in case that does happen, what is the one handle where you do not have Potato Pie 25?
Instagram. Someone stole it like 5 years ago, and I don't have it. That's not me.
So,
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some. I wouldn't say it's got some questionable
Some weird
themes
stuff,
on it,
yeah.
I guess. Once again, that is not me.
do you have a content like Instagram, or is it just a
No,
private
I don't.
one?
I just have a private one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see Potato Pie 25, and they have their profile picture is you.
Yeah, so they stole it during Lego Hair, like that entire saga,
Mhm.
like 5 years ago. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
again, I didn't have the handle at that time, so someone
But
just.
did they
dumped it.
know you were gonna capitalize on it? Were you a content creator at the time 5 years ago, or just a guy?
I mean, like I like posted like Minecraft YouTube videos, but I wasn't like any sort of big. I had like 200 subs, so.
Someone was just really like securing that you could not get that in case anything happened.
I think it's just because of how like big of a joke and a meme it was at the time that someone was just like, "Hey, I can just take this handle and pretend to be the guy." So
Mhm.
They invested in Potato Pie 25 stocks. And now
True.
look, Lego Hair is on what, close to 80k subscribers now?
yeah,
You're killing it. Well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, anyways, we should probably get into the actual part of the podcast, talking about Hive drama and the arcade update. I guess to kickstart this topic of conversation, and some of you might know what the update is, and some of you might not know what the update is. Maybe you played a Hive, maybe you haven't got to play it in the last... This is coming out a week after the update comes out, however we're recording it 3 or 4 days after. Can't be bothered to do the maths. But some of you might not know...
3 days. Yeah.
3 days, yeah. So some of you might not know what the arcade update is. So we're gonna give it a little bit of a rundown. Then we'll get into talking about the specifics, such as the hub, and then each of the 4 individual game modes. And if they've released Block Party before this podcast comes out, don't blame us. We've given you the heads up. If we miss out on that, then we're sorry, and we can talk about it in a future podcast. But yeah. So do one of you want to kind of give a little rundown of what Hive Arcade really is? Like, because I've played it a little bit, but you guys have been on it a lot more than me, so.
So the Hive's Arcade is kind of its testing ground, is kind of what I've heard it called. Basically where the Hive can test out games and ideas and stuff that they've wanted to do. So like, for example, we've got 2 new games in it, Capture the Flag and The Bridge. They've also got some older games that have been on the Hive before in Ground Wars and Block Drop. I know in Ground Wars, they're like also testing out some new stuff. with it, and block drop doesn't really have much new with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some changes to it in the future as well. There's also obviously a really big hub with a bunch of stuff in it. You got hub duels, you've got some fun mini games, you've got a golden mailbot hunt. Basically, like Jake said earlier, it's the biggest Hive update ever, and there's a lot going on with it.
This is the first time we've seen. We're gonna disregard Skywars kits because it's basically Skywars just with kits, which it literally is. So we're gonna disregard that. But this is the first major update, permanent major update in 2 years, which is nuts. Like the Sonic update, of course.
Is it? Oh my, it is.
Of course,
yeah.
they put a lot of effort into the Sonic update, and that was amazing. We obviously not gonna take anything away from that. But this being the first major update in 2 years really is. They were really close to like folding the Hive, weren't they?
I don't know if I'd say like really close to folding, but I mean, there was nothing like new permanent full game modes in 2 years. That's what I've said, like permanent fully fledged game modes in 2 years since Skywars came out May 15th or something of 2020. Yeah. So it's been a while, and obviously the community was starting to get a little bit restless and like not having any new permanent game modes in that long.
I mean, mostly me, we talked about this on the arcade update, on the server tier list last week with Super Gamer, and I was just saying, like, honestly, if Hive hadn't announced that they were releasing arcade, and they hadn't released it in about the next month or so, there would honestly be questions being asked as to what exactly they're doing behind the scenes, kind of thing. Because
for sure,
I don't want them to pump out games. Like, they have more games than CubeCraft now, and somehow CubeCraft is still a quantity over quality server. They apparently so. I didn't really do the maths, but someone told me they have more games than CubeCraft right now. So, but obviously we don't want them to pump out games, do we? That's not what we want from the Hive.
No.
Like, cause we don't want it to turn into a Hypixel where like you can't queue a game with anybody because
Hypixel. Like, there's so many games. I don't even know half of the existing ones. Like, I only know the main ones. And that's the only ones I care about.
And that's what people, like, you said this potato before, so I'm going to let you take over this a little bit, and I'll kind of just give you the base of what I'm saying here. People think the Hive is Fortnite. This is your kind of thing to say, so do you want to build on that a little bit more?
What do you mean by that?
Like, you said, like, people expect updates, like, every single week as if it's Fortnite, and the Hive is the Hive. Was it you?
Yeah.
It was you, right?
I don't think so. I've had my other like takes about like Hive updates and then what the community thinks of them, but I don't think I've compared it to Fortnite.
Oh, well, okay. Someone said that like with Fortnite they release like updates pretty much like close to monthly, like every 2-3 months, and they also,
I mean that is true. They have such a huge team, and they don't care about what the community think. But
it's not just about not caring about what the community thinks. The point is like people think that the Hive can do that. They think that the Hive have that kind of team to do that, to release new costumes every single week and release
this is no way. And it's such a smaller team compared to other like servers.
Exactly. So this is why it's so big for the Hive, and people are expecting like a new game within the next 5 or 6 months. They're not going to be able to release like a brand new, fully fledged, especially with their own twist on things. Like we're going to talk about it a little bit more when we get into the games, but Hive have their own twist on every single game mode they release, and it is in every single game mode they release. So
yeah, I think the main like time constraint for Hive is not like producing the games, it's like planning them and making sure they're the best they can be, and like better than other servers and more interesting. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure any server could release like copy of games to like the same standard, but like when you're like planning it, it's like a lot different. You have to think of so many different ways to engage people and make it unique as well at the same time.
And we're only 3 days into the update, and they've already made a lot of changes due to community feedback.
They have,
meaning people are never going to be happy, and people have their own opinions, which once again mainly is targeted towards the bridge, which we'll get onto later on in the podcast. But the Hive Arcade is basically that summed up, right?
So this is actually the first time in terms of the hub that we've seen a new game mode have a whole new an entire different world. You go through a portal in the hub. It's nowhere to be found anywhere else. You can't find it. It's not in the same main hub as the Hive usually is. It's like a whole new world with like it's almost like futuristic, with like moving cars and stuff. Like the scenery is just amazing, and like that's where the game modes are, as well as the game. There's 4 new game modes. There's 4 game modes, as well as is there 4 empty spots as well beside them?
Yeah, there are 2 on each side.
Yeah, which is a leak to. I mean, I'm assuming it's a leak to 4 new other game mode that should be coming soon.
You would
I mean,
think so,
soon
yeah.
TM.
I think that might just be for style
mean, I don't-
purposes, honestly, just to balance out and
Really?
make it
No,
look
no, I don't think.
No, because
there's
if you
no way
turn
that they-
around, there's two empty costume places as well. Like, do you know the free costume
Uh,
things? There's two of those that are empty as well. Like, they would have shown.
Knowing
just
the
filled them
Hive
up,
though,
right?
they wouldn't just like put those there for no reason.
Mhm.
Like they've plans to maybe put costumes there. They probably have, I mean, we obviously know block drop's a thing, and you know, I bet there's gonna be more new. I mean, we know there's gonna be new game modes in the
Mhm.
future.
I mean,
Isn't
yeah,
one coming very soon? Isn't Block Party
Block
coming
Party,
very
yeah,
soon?
we
you
touched
said?
this in the intro.
Yeah,
It should be out like within a few weeks, apparently. That's why I touched on it in
Oh,
the
wow.
intro, saying if it's come out already, then don't blame us for not mentioning it. It's not our fault. Yeah, I mean, yeah, do you want to... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you want to finish off?
Oh, no, you're fine.
explaining what the hell was? You talked about the cars and the NPCs.
Yeah,
leaking
so
new
it's
games.
like a futuristic scenery. There's a ton of entities, like a ton of custom entities that I don't think you see much on in other servers, including Hypixel. I mean, speaking of Hypixel, like Hypixel doesn't have many like custom entities or anything like that. That makes it too out of the ordinary compared to other servers. It's kind of just what you'd expect of a normal Minecraft server.
yeah.
Exactly.
Which I don't know, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I mean, it's kind of like both, I guess.
There's a train.
Because there is a train, that's true. Didn't they have a train? Hive had a train before. What was the reason for that?
It
That was
just train
the
response.
winter update 2021.
Probably just
Uh-huh.
to test the waters, right? To see if it worked.
Yeah,
or not
I
good.
bet that's what it was. I mean, obviously they already had like arcade kind of in the works. I think that's precisely the point, just to like test and see how it works and like get the technology ready for it, I guess.
They're obviously very different, but arcade gives me very much Galaxy Playground vibes. I've seen a lot of people mention that also, and I'm not saying that Hive copied Galaxy here, but I guess it's nice to see Hive's twist on that, if that makes sense.
Do you think that's because of the block palette and like the visual stuff, or because of the games and things like that?
Probably just the idea of mini games in a different hub. Like Playground has its own hub, Arcade has its own hub. Playground is little mini
Yeah.
games you can play. Arcade is little mini games you can play. Arcade is styled to be very unique from Galaxy. Arcade is styled to be very unique from Hive. Like it's very different, very similar vibes. However, very different game modes.
Would the arcade like game modes be considered mini games, or would they be, or would the jewels they have now?
yeah.
Would they be considered like mini games?
What in where?
I think those are more like a different category, more like micro games or whatever.
Micro games.
Where are we talking about
where you
Galaxy
can,
or the
like-
Hive? Because they both have jewels.
We're talking about the Hive right now.
Hive.
But I
Okay,
mean,
got
to an
you.
extent, I mean, they're both the same. It's like hub micro games where you like go in, you duel someone, or you play like dodgeball or
Mhm.
like Nemo Slap or whatever. I mean, those are like micro games that you can kind of just join, play, and leave all within the span of like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I mean,
They're a bit scuffed, like the Hive ones. They haven't put much effort into it, which is completely like it's fair enough. Like you can, it's like I guess like an Easter egg. I don't know.
Yeah.
is it
I would
an
say Easter egg, but more just
though?
an
Is it-
extra like feature or something that's not mainstream.
I mean, I kind
I
of
would
just
say.
wish I could. I wish I could guaranteed get into games with like you, or guaranteed get into games with Potato. It's a little bit annoying facing non sometimes. That's not who I'm trying to face. And if they come over
Yeah.
again, your ways. You can't make your own
The
private
system,
lobby. You can't make
the
your own
system of
private
it is
servers.
a bit scuffed. Yeah, you can't queue people, which is kind of
Yeah.
irritating. And the rematch system as well. Like literally, if another duel is going on, like at the same time as you, and you both finish around the same time, someone can just rematch you from a completely different, like a completely different game. Like if you both
Right.
hit it at the same time, which is also pretty scuffed. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, there's not much to do in them as well. There's only about 3 items, two or three items.
Well, there's 3 jewels
On
on the
each
Nemo
kit.
Slap, and Spleef is so broken. Jake, okay, so Potato, I haven't told you about this, but Jake and I got into a solo Spleef game, just us two. So there's
Yeah.
like 5 layers, for example. So I knocked down Jake 4 of the layers, and I had to
Oh,
follow him
yeah.
down. Then the final layer, he just knocks me down in 1. And I know you don't get a reward for it, but it's still annoying that I knocked him down 4 layers and lost on the last one. 'Cause it was
I
a
had
one
that
It's
happen
because-
with a different one, like with the like a solo one as well with
It's
someone
because
else.
the layers are too close together. He can just hit each
No, but
other
it's not that.
from
It's the fact I have to
above.
come down. Like I have to come down and face you because we're in a 1v1. It's like Spleef is like block drop, for example. You need multiple players for it to work. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
in block drop, it was
I mean,
a
not
1v1.
really. Spleef was usually just a one layer, which made it fine, which
But
made no
for
problems.
1v1, that's fine. But if it's multiple 5 layers, it shouldn't be queuing just us two.
Yeah.
It shouldn't start with just us two. We should have to wait, kind of thing. What about the golden mailbots? Have you guys collected? How much have you guys collected?
I've
roughly?
got like 30 something.
I think I've got 5.
Oh, you've been really grinding to get those potatoes.
I know.
I've got about 50 just from running around the hub. So, you know, there's currently no reward for them. I know this isn't always going to be a thing, but currently all you really get is access to a VIP lounge. And a lot of people have been saying,
How do you get that, by the way? Is it like a teleporter? Like,
I don't
how do
know.
you
It's
transport
It's an
there?
elevator. I saw Danny did a second channel video on it.
Does
It's
it just it's just unlocked? Like, does it let's
Yeah,
unlock itself?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And do you have to find the elevator or?
And there's
so
a
there's
lot.
this like big like circular building kind of. It's at the bottom of that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
How do you get to the Questmaster in the hub? Is it just a normal Questmaster? Is not there if you're in arcade?
I think you probably have to go back to the regular hubs question.
Yeah, I think it's regular. Yeah.
Because I saw the Questmaster in the arcade hub, so I haven't. Really
Maybe there
tried
is one
getting
there
it
as
yet.
well. I haven't looked around for that, honestly.
Yeah, I saw it in like a building in the top left, and I saw someone
Okay.
in there. It could just be the normal one. I don't really know. But yeah, they've been saying, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. I've just heard rumors. I guess the stuff is going to be added to the VIP lounge as well. I
Yeah,
think you guys have seen it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be like costumes or like maybe other like titles or whatever. You know, just the general like cosmetics, like the limited ones that Hive tends to give out.
VIP.
Yeah, which I
exclusive
think
as
is
well.
gonna, I mean, encourage people to do it a lot more. Especially me. I kind of want to do it now.
When are
Like,
we going
I
for
kinda
the
wanna-
VIP
like
exclusive
if
ones?
there are costumes or whatever that come out, I'll probably like just take an hour, get all the mailbots, and then
Yeah,
finally get
exactly.
my costumes.
Oh yeah, someone released a video. Someone finally released a video. It's like
On all
sped
of them?
up.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay.
But like, yeah, it's like about 2 times speed or something. It's like a 16-minute video, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah, as
It
soon as they like
exists.
add something to it, and then like as soon as like they actually add something to the VIP hub, that's when I'll like actually get all the mailbots. I mean, I'll casually get them over time, but I'll actually grind to get them as soon as I get a reward for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, until there's a point to like getting the golden mailbots, I don't think
Yeah.
as many people are actually going to go do it.
But at the same time, I don't think the rewards are gonna be permanent. I think they're gonna be limited time for
That
whoever
would make
does it
sense.
in
Yeah.
that amount of time. So I kind of want to do it like fairly quickly now that I've heard there is new what do you call it, like cosmetics and stuff. Well, I mean it might already be out actually. It could be already be out by the time it's uploaded.
There's a chance, yeah.
So yeah.
That's why I want to make sure, like you said there, they could just add it to like give it to people before like they add something, so it could be like a special award before for the people who actually tried to get before, if that makes sense. That's why
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get all done, like you said there. And there's now a tutorial on YouTube that's probably gonna get a lot of views, so that'll help a lot. But yeah, the new hub looks really cool. The brand new arcade hub with the 4 game modes, and we should probably get into talking about them, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So the first game mode we're gonna be talking about in that Arcade's just released is Ground Wars. I mean, it's been recycled a lot, I would say, in different forms, different reskins for like seasonal events, such as like what is it, Easter and Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called, what was it, Snow Wars and wait, no, it wasn't Egg Wars. Oh god, what was it called?
It was called Ground Wars.
Yeah.
Ground
it's called
Wars.
Ground Wars.
Yeah, which is basically just a turf wars on what was the server? What was the old server?
Mineplex.
Mineplex, yeah.
But
Basically just that with like power up. They've added power ups now, which is a lot different. They've added power ups. They've added I guess like a mini boss. I want to say a mini boss that gives it an extra
Yeah.
power up. About like halfway into the game, which can change the game instantly. Like it's a big factor. But yeah, it's a lot more engaging, a lot more entertaining than just firing snowballs at each other or projectiles, which
Right.
is basically what it was beforehand.
I feel like a lot of people used to like complain about it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I think I might have played like 30 minutes of like Snow Wars back on this last winter update, just because it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
We had it for like Ground Wars, we had it for Snow Wars multiple times. So I'm glad they're doing something different with it with power-ups. It was refreshing to play it. I'm still
Yeah.
not gonna act like I'm gonna play it all that much
For
because
sure.
there's not too much, but it's at least a little more interactive now, which is nice.
the chicken NPC is pretty cracked though. So if I don't know what costumes you get. If you do get it as a costume though, it kind of makes me want to grind it a little bit more. But right now it's so hard to level up. You don't get you get barely any XP for winning. And,
Maybe it's a plot by the Hive to get people to buy boosters.
or it could just be.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
the-
didn't
you
they make a ton of people play Ground Wars last time because it was a costume on the line? Was it not? It was that green costume, I remember.
Yeah, I never did
Was
it
it?
though. I can't be bored.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
It was
but
like the Christmas one. It was like a special Christmas one. I mean, Ground Wars is fun. Like you said there, just to add to your point here, Potato. It went from like consistently the same thing for 3 years, and it literally just like I'm not acting like I'm gonna play it. Like I'm gonna play it, yeah, but not like it's like my favorite game mode. But it literally went from people complaining about how repetitive it was and then just recycling, because they were like a bit like Ghost Invasion. They were kind of just recycling the exact same LTM every single time, which did get a bit tedious in the end. But with that also came like but now the Hive have gone from taking that as in like people getting angry for them just to recycling the same thing to then making it its whole own game mode with like boosters and like twists and stuff, which is actually a viable game mode to play now. Like now it is a permanent game mode, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, because if they kept it the same as it was, yeah, it'd be a permanent game mode, but it'd be an LTM. Like, once people would have no motivation to carry on playing it once they got max level. But now, like Sky Wars, once they get max level, people will still want to play it.
For sure.
Because it's a fun game mode to play, and I recommend. I left a suggestion. I talked about it on stream. I left a suggestion. I really hope they had like a dodgeball CS for it, because that'd be so sick.
That would be cool, yeah.
Imagine a 25 versus 25, like I see, like
oh man,
knock it down to half eggs. So you only get half eggs, and no power-ups, 1 hit, 1 kill, but your eggs regenerate, so it's not like you have to pick up like the dodgeball, not that.
I just think it would just be better to just have like spawning in eggs one at a time rather than 8 or so.
Well,
per inventory, because people would die really quickly.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't think you should have to pick up eggs, if that makes sense. I think with his own twist,
it could give to a random person. That could also work.
Yeah.
Instead of having to like fight for it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. But if your RNG kind of sucks and he keeps getting given to the non, that's gonna be really annoying. That's what I'm saying, like 1 per team. But I mean, I don't know. Ground Wars has potential to grow. Hopefully they recycle like different power ups. Like hopefully it's not the exact same ones over and over again, because that'd get a bit tedious. But for the most part, Ground Wars, there's not really much to say on it, right? So I guess moving on to block drop, because we're going to get the, I guess, least played game modes, because, capture the flag and bridge are the big talking points. So again,
to be fair, block drop is really popular. I mean, in terms of, like, not in my opinion, but, or not in my opinion, but, like, not in my playtime, but, like, it's really popular, which, when it got removed last year or whatever, people were, like, really disappointed.
Because it's a game that's kind of accessible to everyone, right? Like,
exactly.
You can kind of like play it. It doesn't take brain power to play. You can just kind of like log on and play it.
It's unironically fun as well, like just jumping around and doing parkour. It's especially great for streams as well, like playing with viewers, because they all love it. There is one thing though, there's this one map, and I can't remember the name of it, and it's massive. Really good bloody map, really, really nice. But if you have more people on it, so for a CS, if you have more people on it, then like the block job intended players, it lags like crazy. Like, because of the entities and the amount of blocks, it's like double the blocks of a normal map. It makes it really, really laggy and like impossible to play. So I guess that's like the only downside of that. I mean, they haven't changed block job at all, so I guess we can talk about block job as in like the past as well. I mean, like you were saying, Jake, it was a popular game mode in the past, but Terpai, I guess you kind of talked about on stream in the past as well when it was like a thing. What was your thoughts on it, like as an LTM in quotation marks?
I honestly never really played it all that much on stream, because while it's fun to play, it's not really that fun to watch, in my opinion. Like, again, it kind of takes like no brain power. You just kind of like log on and play it, and that's kind of it. But it's a fun game, and I enjoy it. I kind of wish the Hive would have done something a little bit different with like, their new iteration of it, but I understand that they were obviously going to put a lot more work into like bridge, block drop, their hub, all of that. Or bridge, capture the flag in their hub. And I wouldn't be surprised if more stuff happens with block drop in the future.
It already had power-ups, so like which happened to Ground Wars. It already had power-ups, so I guess Ground Wars was kind of just. I mean, it didn't have the same thing, so that's why there's a change in it. It's a big change in it. I mean, but like I guess people just don't look at the power-ups as like, oh wow, this is a cool feature. They looked at it as like, oh, this is just this changes the game a bit.
Yeah,
it's definitely better than TNT Run. I
completely agree. I don't like TNT Run
for sure.
Like I made a video previously, like what your favorite Hive Arcade game says about you. Not to promote, but it's our podcast, Jake, so we get away with it. And like in it, I was just saying, like, it's basically just for those people who like the idea of TNT Run but don't like TNT Run and prefer this. Like, that's basically what I said, and it's true. Like block drop, it gives you a little bit more time, and you get the free leaps, which is cool. You can clutch. Like, I've been hit off by Nemo so many times, and I can just clutch back on. And it's just that fun game mode. It's like Spleef but running and TNT Run combined kind of thing. And just, I don't know. I enjoy it. Block drop is definitely a chilled out game mode. It's nice to like after playing a few games of capture the flag, especially like custom servers with viewers. It goes from like grinding capture the flag to then going and having that break on like block drop. So it's very nice, like refreshing game mode to say the least. there's not. We spent like 10 minutes on 2 game modes. There's really not much to say
Yeah.
about them, is there?
Yeah.
I guess this is where it gets interesting. No, this is the talking points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, Capture the Flag. Probably the most favorite game that the Hive has added in their arcade update. I guess at least in the PvP community. For the most part, people seem to love it.
And we were talking about it before the podcast started, a bit about CubeCraft, because I brought it up that, like, once again, back to that video, sorry to keep promoting it, I don't mean to, but I was like, I said it, that like Hive Capture the Flag is like CubeCraft players who like Capture the Flag is better. So like, you're probably a CubeCraft player who's switching from their Capture the Flag to the Hive one, and I got a lot of comments agreeing, saying, yeah, this is correct, because you know, the power-ups, like the coin system, the way it works, the PvP, it's just all better, right?
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all got our own thoughts on CubeCraft, but like Hive's Capture the Flag, for the most part, I think is really, really polished, honestly.
Yeah, it's solid.
Like, it's got obviously high PvP, which I think most people can agree is probably the best, like, PvP style, like with the knockback and everything
Mhm.
on
100%.
Bedrock. And it's also just got like new elements and stuff. Like it's got a shop and like upgrades and stuff like that. And there's a lot of depth to the game mode, but you can also just like play it as a regular person as well if you want to.
This has most likely already been fixed, because it's like, it fixed in its own way. Probably not the way I'm going to say it, but it's because I suggested it. So hopefully within these 5 days it gets fixed. There's a few things that are wrong with Capture the Flag in my eyes. Firstly, people camping in their own spawn with the flag. I think that they should add something that in your own spawn, if you are holding a flag, you slowly take damage. Kind of like if you're out of the border in Skywars, that kind of idea. And then your flag gets returned kind of thing. I also think that you shouldn't be able to place TNT in the opposite team's spawn, because it leads to a lot of spawn killing, and happened to me a little bit. Not purpose spawn killing, people didn't aim for that, but it was annoying while trying to defend the flag. And then they should also increase the price of TNT from 75 to 80, because people are saying it's too OP, because it's
Really? That's like nothing though. That's like 5 seconds.
But it's still,
gotta be like
I honestly
100.
still think it makes a whole difference, because people are saying it's OP. It stops people sometimes from buying 2 TNTs.
TNT is incredibly OP. You can one-shot people.
No, but it's a strat.
Like-
I think it's a legit strat. I think it's completely fair the way it is. I think they should just up it by 5 or 10 coins. Like, I don't think it should stay 75, but I don't think it should go all the way to 100, because it's a legitimate strat. It's a good idea.
But 5 coins is the difference between either getting 3 kills or waiting 5 seconds or so.
But I think if you, like, but that 5 seconds, believe it or not, will make an entire difference. And I think they should color code the TNT. Like, if they color coded the TNT, I don't think many people would have a problem with it being 75 coins. Because if blue teams was blue and red teams was red, so if you knew who was placing the TNT, I don't think people would be as concerned as they
That's
are
what you
now
mean.
about it.
Okay.
Because, no, but like, a lot of people, main people's talking points is like, oh, it's too cheap and it's too OP. But if you know who's placing the TNT, then it's no longer OP, right?
And you spawn. Can you kill your teammates? I thought you kill your teammates.
No,
Am I wrong?
Can't. It doesn't damage you
Can
either,
you
which I'm not a big
Damage
fan
you?
of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it probably
Interesting.
should
I always used to run
damage
away
you,
from
right?
it.
Because you could just like jump
Yeah.
into someone's like flag and place it and just cover both of you in, and they're dead and you're not, which is a little bit OP.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Potato Pie? If you played much Capture the Flag, what's your take on that?
I personally haven't played that much Capture the Flag. I've been both like grinding bridge and also Capture the Flag turned me off a little bit on the first day because of like so mechanic in Hive's Capture the Flag is that you can't place your own or like the other team's flag down in your own area unless your flag is like
Yeah, I don't
back
like
in
that.
your area.
I don't
And
like
so
that at
it
all.
just leads to standoffs where both teams are sitting in their spawn waiting for the other team to like come to them, or just like, you know, just waiting the game out because no one wants to lose like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's kind of a problem. Obviously, you can counter it with stuff like TNT, but I personally don't like that mechanic, and that's kind of what turned me off from it initially. And I don't know how much of it I'm going to play until that's changed, just because I'm really not a fan of that.
Yeah, especially if you're playing solo up against like a party, like and like you're let's say you're the best player in your team and you're solo. You can't like direct your team to go and fight like a whole 6-person team camping in their base waiting for you to die, which doesn't make any sense, because if their whole team's at the base with the flag like ready to be captured, you can't die. Like it's just a standoff. It's never gonna end. And especially if you're solo, that means you have to go back yourself with the flag, with slowness and everything like that, and just somehow try and kill the flag guy, and then capture it at the same time without dying with slowness.
What gets me is like I like the idea of people being able to return a flag even if the other person's holding it, but then like it also borderline becomes just a race. Like most people aren't gonna fight. Like,
I think it should be like a 5 or 10 second you know how you return a flag? It should be like that, I think.
Oh,
where you
yeah,
wait
okay.
5 or 10 seconds, just like that.
Yeah, I like
Easily.
that actually. That's
Yeah,
solid.
because then it avoids like, because if there's like 2 people camping my base, ready to just grab my flag after it's been returned. And
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
I
me
agree. I
holding
don't think
my
it should be a
flag-
race.
Because if me holding my flag somewhere else on the map, that delays them from like just camping us, and it gives us time to kill them for me to come back. But if it's a constant race, then they're just gonna keep picking up. So at least that 10 seconds
Yeah.
kind of makes a difference. I don't think it should be
Because the 10
instant pickup,
seconds,
but
you're
I
gonna
also
get
don't
fought a
think-
lot. It's not just about like picking it up in a hitbox and running away.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you're gonna like get hit a lot, so it's gonna be quite difficult. But yeah, I see what you mean.
It also avoids that thing of like people camping in the base with their flag. Because what's the point of holding on to their flag if it's not if they can just return yours kind of thing?
Hmm.
It's very complicated. Like there's never gonna be a win to it as the issue, because like CubeCrafts, that the problem with CubeCrafts one is I can literally just run to their base because it's all nons, it's all bots. I can just run
Yeah.
to their base, pick up the flag and run back and return it even if they're my flag. And it's just like, yeah, it's fun, but it's like also it makes it a little bit too easy. At least with this aspect you're kind of forced to kill them. But then if you go one flag down, they're just gonna hold you off for like the last 6 minutes of the game, which I've seen happen before. Like people have just won by capturing
Yeah.
one flag, and that's when it gets. Then that's when TNT becomes a meta. But then people want to nerf TNT, but that one shot TNT could kill off 4 people who are camped around the flag, and then that's a game changer. And that's what I meant by it earlier, is a game changer, and that's why I think it shouldn't be nerfed from a one-hit kill. Then it avoids people
That's
camping.
fair, honestly. Like, yeah, TNT kind of is the counter to camping. People just need to figure out how to use it and then also not rage when they die to it because they're just
But
camping.
you can outrun
Yeah.
it. Like you can literally run away from it. You have plenty of time, and if you're a certain distance away, you don't die from it. Like I've been hit
Yeah.
by the TNT and only taken half health.
Yeah,
Even
it's
then, that
like
makes
2
a
or 3
difference.
blocks or so.
Yeah.
In range, you'll get one hit, and then other than that, you should be fine. You take a bit of damage.
And that's why I think
It's
this
not
is meta.
normal
They just
TNT at
need to-
all. It's
they
not
just need
normal.
to color code it. They just need to color code the TNT so that like because the amount of times I've been in like a 4v4 and someone's dropped a TNT and you're like, do I run away? Is that my team? Is that their team? Like you don't know because
I never thought about that because I just assumed that it would hurt anyone, so I dipped like as soon as I saw it. Like
Yeah,
I like
and I
spam
only
blocks
hurt
like
someone.
around it, so it would like deflect. But yeah,
I don't know. There's also other things. There was like one glitch on the outside map. You know what one I'm on about. There was like a glitch
I think it's
where
still
you
a
could,
problem.
yeah, you could like.
There's
Well, I mean, they said,
there's a lot of fences.
well, they said they
and
were
stuff
like
like that.
rolling out a fix when I reported it like 2 days ago. So I don't really know if maybe they have. Who knows? Maybe they made it because they might have made it. I haven't tried it that you can't open fences because they can do that, can't they? They can make it so you can't open stuff. So they might have done that. But like,
Well, not even though, because I mean, technically they don't make you open fences, but because of ping and stuff like that, you can easily bypass it. Like
no,
I've
like
seen
in the
more
lobby,
Galaxy lobbies.
you can't open doors or fences.
But then you can't build either Orbits. That's the thing. You need adventure mode. You can't. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a way to code
Oh,
it.
yeah.
There might be, but it's quite difficult.
Unless they just maybe placed barriers.
Just
behind it.
barriers. Just literally just barriers on
They
top
might have
of it.
placed barriers though. You don't know. Like I haven't tried it. Like I said.
Hopefully.
Like with the last time I faced against someone, I had to. So they were running, they captured our flag and they instantly glitched outside the map. I had to run all the way to their side and glitch outside the map also. And I went straight back in. So I hope I don't get in trouble for that because I just went to kill them so they couldn't win kind of thing. It was just like it was really unfair.
Did you not bow them?
Well, my bow aim isn't exactly amazing, is it? So.
Oh, this
I
guy.
just went out and sword for
Excuses.
them. Well, I mean, I just went out, killed them, and went back in. Like, you know, it was a bit unfair. So hopefully they fixed that. But overall, capture the flag is really fun. Like playing it with a team. I recorded a video the other day with a team of it, just doing absolutely.
You need a
crazy
team though. If you're up against a sweat
Yeah.
team, you're not gonna win. There's no chance.
Oh yeah, no, I've
Speaking of
never
teams,
played
though.
solo. Oh, yeah,
Speaking
go
of teams, though, I think capture the flag is actually going to be huge for like scrims and stuff like that because
has
of the
been a
amount of
talking
strategy
point.
that can go in with it, and also just like the competitiveness of it. I feel like
Yeah.
I mean, there's already been talk of scrims and tournaments and stuff like that. I think it's definitely going to happen, and it's going to be big.
This has
Yeah,
been
and there's a
huge
lot of
talking point,
items.
right?
There's a ton of items in the shop that a lot more people are going to use in scrims and stuff like that, as you say.
Yeah.
That people wouldn't use in, let's say, normal games because there's not that much competitiveness and like
My
there's
scrim
not
strat is
a huge skill gap.
overpowered. Like my scrim strat is genuinely very, very OP. Do you
But
want
would
to
that
know?
work against a coordinated team though? That's the
Yeah,
thing.
so hopefully the video's out the day this podcast out if I can get it done. But it's like basically you just block off every single entrance with as many blocks as you can, and it's OP.
That costs so much time and
This is
so much.
scrim strat, Jake's the Y tier, right? Scrim
But you
players
just
are gonna be
lose
using
so
it for
much
years to
coins.
come, okay?
You use so many coins. You don't like you're all wearing chain armor and while they're having iron armor breaking it. You know.
But if they can't get through and we can constantly bow them through the wall,
They have an infinite pickaxe as well. You need to think about that. and there's gonna be 6 good players. Let's yeah.
Jake, it doesn't matter, right? It's a scrim strat for years to come. Either way, it's an
Okay.
OP strategy, and people will be looking back on it in a year thinking, damn, I wish I used that kind of thing. Nah, I mean, capture flag is definitely great for like goofiness, but like you said, it's going to be OP for scrim games. It's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a lot of content made out of it. I don't know what kind of content, but I'm sure people will figure something out for it.
Yeah.
Arcade is like a whole new world for content, but it's so hard to think of original ideas for it.
Well, that's because it's been out for 3 days. Like, yeah, you just got to give it time. People will figure out ideas. People will copy other people's content. It takes a little bit of time.
Will somebody
It's
become
not
a
worried
cheater
about
with
it.
the bridge?
Someone
What?
will, yeah.
Cheater, do you
I mean,
cheater?
It's good though, because like in this stage of Hive content, people aren't just making like let's plays and stuff like that and gameplay
Yeah.
videos. Like they're actually like using their brain, I guess, and like making actual like good unique content that should pop off like effectively, because it's good ideas, you know, stuff like I've seen like speedrunning Hive Arcade, you know, like racing in bridge and stuff like that, like bridge tournaments, not stuff like just bridge montage. No one cares about that. Like they've actually like transitioned, and this might be the first time we see original content from the Hive.
Exactly.
I think definitely some good potential for Arcade and the content and ideas that come with it.
I guess speaking of bridge, it's perfect to transition into that now. Woo!
Ooh.
Woo!
So, yeah, for the few days that the Hive's Arcade has been out, and more specifically the bridge game mode, it has by far become the most controversial thing that the Hive has ever released on their server. I think you guys can both agree with that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Other than YouTube rank.
Yep.
That's very controversial. But yeah, no, in all senses, yeah, it has definitely become the most controversial.
And I would also like to point out that a few days before the update came out, Danny is the Bomb released a tweet that like he thought of like in my Twitch chat, saying, "I hate the Hive. The Hive needs to update. It's been 7 years since they've released a new game. Also, I hate that the Hive is adding bridge. I hate new game modes." The thing is that was a joke tweet. Obviously, we were memeing about people that were gonna say that, but it has unironically become true, and I 100% saw that happening.
So I made a tweet on the 2nd saying the Hive updating before Minecraft fixed ping glitches scenes, by the way. But the funny thing is, people are still going to get at the Hive. You can bleep that if you want, Jake. At the Hive instead of MC, assuming MC don't fix ping glitch layers. I wanted bridge, just I didn't want bridge to be like this at all. And it turns out.
I don't know. Did people expect like an exact replica of any other server's brain?
No, but sometimes
Yes,
Jake
they
might
did.
go
Minecraft
They
brain?
did.
It's like
That's
why?
basically what they did.
Like the only unique aspect, I guess, would be that it's Hive PvP, which is the only USP, I guess, which isn't good
Well,
in my opinion.
I mean, kits are kind of like a unique thing to Hive bridge. Kits don't really
yeah,
exist
exactly.
on-
But people just wanted like plain old bridge. Like why?
Yeah.
Like come on.
I don't know. I like the new Leap update. I'm still not a massive fan of Leap, and I'm not saying it's a bad feature. So it's and I know how to counter the leaps. It's not that.
It's not even that OP. It's balanced now.
No, I
think.
know it's
think
balanced. I
balanced.
just don't like the idea of someone getting hit off and then being able to leap back on. It's like a second life.
You
and I know
just
it's unique.
snowball them though. You just stop them. You just stop the momentum. It's
they
actually
get-
just.
if they- if
I'm not
they-
even joking. It's literally just a skill issue, and I know this has happened. This has been said a lot.
Jake,
But
you're gonna
I
get canceled for
terrified.
this now.
No, but okay,
But, like,
Jake,
come
but
on.
Okay, so scenario. So I'm 1v1ing in the middle of the bridge with someone, and I snowball them
Yep.
off. They leap back on. What are my snowballs gonna do if they've just leaped back on and ran past me? I can't exactly.
If
with
you're
my
if
two
you're
more
using 8 snowballs to hit someone off and they leap back on, that's also a skill issue.
That's a skill issue. That's
Okay,
a skill issue.
So, okay, even then, say I use one snowball and they leap back on.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's what you should do. They leap back on, right?
Yeah.
You turn around behind them and wait for them, you know, to turn the stairs, and then you start spamming snowballs
But then
and
you
put them
waste all
away
your
from the goal.
snowballs. So what's the point?
That doesn't matter though, because they have no leap and you have no snowballs. It's a normal fight, and if you don't win that fight, it's a skill issue.
Yeah, then it becomes- I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a leap in bridge. I think I mean, who's using golden apples? Who are using 3 golden apples?
No, golden apples needs to be fixed. I
Yeah,
think they need to
golden
remove like the 5-heart siphon, which is crazy. You can literally kill farm someone. I got kill farmed the other day.
Oh, I killed someone the other day.
Oh my
Every
God.
time they were falling, I was just blowing them out of the air and then
Exactly. You get almost full health, unless like you were on like half a heart from winning. You're probably on like 6 hearts at that point.
Yeah.
Like yeah, if they remove siphon and they add gaps, it'll be balanced. I would say honestly, maybe
But
like
I mean,
1 or 2
even
gaps. It'll be
then, who is
balanced.
choosing gapples over a leap or 8 snowballs? Like,
Oh, I would say I would almost say I would, because you know you're fighting
you're
someone,
an
and you're
idiot.
trading with
No
someone.
offense. All right.
No, you're trading with someone, and you could be on like 2 hearts. and then they just bow you. You're dead.
Oh yeah, and then you start in your golden apple and they leap over you. Good one, Jake.
What? No,
What?
because it takes them a bit to go around the chip
Okay,
and stuff
so
like
again,
that.
imagine this scenario, right? You're fighting, you're trading hits in the middle of the bridge. You win the fight, and say that they've updated Gapples to where like it brings you up to full health, or maybe not even full health, gives you a certain amount of hearts or whatever.
Exactly.
And they removed Siphon as well, so where you kill someone and you get 5 hearts from killing them.
You get 0, yeah.
You're gonna be at a disadvantage unless you gap. They're not gonna be able to leap there fast enough. If you gap, you'll be on relatively even ground once again.
And there's a good chance they've already used their leap or snowballs
Yeah,
from the
fair
first
enough,
fight.
yeah.
Gaps could almost be OP at that point if there's no siphon. They could honestly have to like remove like only have like 1 or 2 gaps because
Yeah.
it will literally just be, it won't even be like constantly killing someone, even if it's a skill issue. It'll just be like back and forth unless you're like healing or whatever.
I'll meet you
Or
halfway
protecting
and
yourself.
definitely say leap is way better. Hopefully you guys can agree that leap off the start was very, very silly though.
Oh yeah, but the
Yeah.
main problem wasn't
Like,
the fact
now
that it was
it's
leap.
fair.
It was honestly just a height limit, I think.
As
Yeah,
long as-
the
Because
fact
of
that you can like
momentum.
build all the way up, like you can just bridge over. I
no,
think
but you
yeah,
could also
that
leap
kind of
like half the bridge. But like, if you were falling and you leaped, you made it till half the bridge.
I mean, I think from what I've seen, the leap like nerf is only being like 2 or 3 blocks away from
That's still better,
like
I'd say that's
the first day.
No, but I still think that's better. Like, I'd rather be able to leap only like 2 or 3 blocks and leap like, because I guess my idea of like the snowball thing is the OG leap. Like, you dead leap so far to the point where your snowballs like wouldn't be effective, if that makes sense. But now them leaping, you can still hit them with your snowballs. You can still catch up to them. Does that make sense? That's why I'm like saying I guess I'll meet it halfway.
Well, I mean, what we're talking about with like snowball countering is you have to hit them when you think they're gonna leap. So you have to hit them like pretty much around the
Yeah,
exact
Does it
moment they
cancel the
leap.
leap?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. I didn't know it cancelled the leap.
That's what we mean by
Oh,
snowballs.
you never
have 8
say
snowballs versus 1 leap.
Yeah.
Let's say you miss a snowball, they don't leap. You still have 7 more tries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I
and you
didn't know it
also like
cancelled
even
the
if you
leap.
are using leap against them as well, you have your bow that you can counter leap with as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I
think leap is fine.
I think leap is fine now. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that like it shouldn't be there because it's original to the Hive and it's a good idea. I'm just saying like off the bat, like leap originally shouldn't have been there. Like with the like if they kept it the way it was, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
I mean, I don't see the problem. I don't really see the need for the leap nerf. I definitely saw the need for the max height
But
and
I
stuff
miss building
because
straight up and Bedrock bridging and then leaping into that goal.
because I mean the way it worked is you know you get sent down the tube, but basically if you've already have a huge bridge all the way across, you're getting sent down way faster. Like you're hitting the ground way faster than they are, and you have way more time to leap and get way more momentum, which is how it worked.
It's only that
So
people
it
are
was just a
trapping
whole
them-
race the entire
People
time.
trapping people in their own goals. Like, I
saw that. Yeah, that's probably gonna get patched.
No, it has been. It
Yeah.
has been with the height limit.
There's also I saw last night on Nerd Stream. I don't know if you saw this potato when you rated him. But Nerdtribird, I guess I don't know, figured out like basically like you time blocking up or like you spam blocks.
That's also they
in
can't
the
really
tube.
change that though. That like
Yeah, that can be easily countered with a barrier or something. But you can
Yeah.
literally go out of the map, which I haven't seen
Yeah.
many people do. I hope it gets fixed.
Oh, that wasn't.
I
even
hope I'm
him,
not
like,
bringing
someone-
attention to it. I hope it's already got fixed. But yeah, like
Oh, you're talking
yeah,
about
you can
people
like go
getting
out of the
out
map and you just spam up, huh?
Oh yeah, that isn't Nerd original. Me and Avery trained that, and Avery like got halfway up, and then someone made a YouTube video about it like a day later.
no, we're not saying nerd invented it or whatever.
Oh
We
no,
just
no,
saw
no!
it
I'm
on the
just saying.
stream now.
Oh, got you. But I'm just saying like
Yeah.
a lot of people have already done it, so you're not really bringing too much attention to it, anyways. Jake, is my
Okay.
point there. I guess talking more about controversial stuff, and this is one of your favorite topics, Potato, in the last 2 days, skill-based matchmaking. So what are your thoughts on that?
Skill-based matchmaking. Oh boy.
Say the
I
line,
think skill-based
Potato.
matchmaking. Look, I'm gonna try not to get myself canceled here.
No, because we
Maybe
need it as like
that
a
might
highlight
happen.
clip. We just need it as like the start of the video. So just say it.
So, wait, what am I saying?
A song about skill-based matchmaking and skill issues. Just say it, Jake.
Oh.
Just say it, Potato.
If you,
You don't have to say it if you don't want.
what like I was gonna say like if you don't like skill-based matchmaking, it's a skill issue, but like
There
that.
we go. There we go.
No,
Jake.
that-
Slap it at the start. Jake.
I didn't say that in a good enough voice though. Like
It doesn't. Okay, anyways, just carry on what he's gonna say. Talk about skill-based matchmaking. This is your time to shine.
okay, so I'm gonna try not to get myself canceled here. I mean, people already hate my opinion on this, but I don't think skill-based matchmaking is a bad thing. I think it's fine.
Boo!
And I think that people that don't want skill-based matchmaking are just unhappy that they aren't getting easy games. I'll say it. I
Yeah.
said it. It's a
Say
skill
the
issue.
line.
I agree.
Doodle raw.
It's a skill issue.
There we go. Perfect.
I think. I mean, I said this before the call. If Hive never even said to anyone that skill-based matchmaking was being introduced, I don't think there would have been a single problem. Like maybe people would have said, "Oh, I'm finding a lot of good sweats. This is actually really fun. I'm really enjoying myself. There's loads of sweats online right now." But in reality, you're just coming up against sweats at the same level. If they never said anything, which I guess is kind of Hive's fault.
No, you kind of had to though, really, so people
but
knew.
did
Not
they?
really.
I mean,
Well,
I
they
don't
didn't
think
have
so.
to. I think it was just like nice of them to.
what?
I don't know,
I think
it's
it's nice of them too, but like you see the community's reaction
Oh,
to
yeah.
it. I don't like.
I think it would be like plain sailing. I don't think there would be a problem at all.
So I
Yeah.
said this before the podcast, and you guys didn't really touch on your thoughts too much. So leave your thoughts too much. So I guess you can now. I don't disagree with the idea of skill-based matchmaking. I think it's a good implementation to the Hive. But however, I don't like the fact that, like, okay, I said this to you guys before the podcast, I'll just use the same scenario and you guys can leave your thoughts on it. On, like, the likes of Skywars or even Capture the Flag, I can have 10 games where I have to try really hard, and I get 1 or 2 games where I can chill out a bit, calm down, rest my finger, and then I have another 10 sweaty games. Once you get to the stages, if, like, I'm never going to get to it because I'm trash, but if you get to the stages where you're constantly winning games, so you're on, like, a 20 win streak, you're just going to come up against closet cheaters or hackers who have, like, somehow not been banned for, like, 10 games, and they have, like, a crazy elo or whatever, and you're just going to constantly come up against people like that. Whereas if skill-based matchmaking wasn't a thing, or there was like a feature where you could still come up against nons, I feel like that it'd be nice. I'm not saying it should be a thing. I'm not saying they should just delete skill-based matchmaking, but I do really miss the idea of just having peaceful games. And I guess you could say it's like a skill issue because I just want to beat people easily. And that is the reason I'm saying it. It's because I want to have easy games sometimes, and I don't want to constantly have hard games.
But because Bridge is such a mini game, and like, okay, compared to Hive Skywars, right? Not every sweat wants to sweat every time, right? That's why skill-based matchmaking. I think for Skywars, skill-based matchmaking shouldn't be introduced.
Yeah.
Because you want to have fun, you want to mess about, you want to do that. For Bridge, it's such a fast game. It's such a fast-paced game. There's not much you can do. You've got one block type. You've got like a pickaxe. You've got a sword. You know what I mean? Like it's like the game is basically telling you what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got a one-way path to victory, right? Compared to Hive Skywars, there's so much you can do if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like on Bridge, in my opinion, I wouldn't be going on there to mess about and have fun. I want to fight people in the same skill level, and it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. If you're bad, like you'd still be fighting people who are bad, which like I don't see a problem with. And then as soon as you start beating them, you start getting better and better, which is kind of how progress works. So for Bridge, for such a small game, and for such a small game that you can't really have a chill game in, like you wanna beat people in, it's very competitive. You want to beat people in.
I don't want to keep
I think
going
it's gotta
against,
have skill-based
XQC or VX112 or like YX1V2.
No, but
like, I don't want to.
I don't want to fight bots.
People,
like
man.
I don't want to fight mobile players.
I want to come up against someone called like HeroBrian28312. Like
why? That's
let
so
me have
boring.
it.
Because you're
not every.
It's because they're such fast-paced
I
games,
want
though.
1 or 2 games where I can just sit back and beat little Jimmy easily. You know, I don't want to come up against like.
But then how's little Jimmy gonna feel when he's getting sweated on by?
Exactly.
Well, that's his problem.
Okay, you're saying it's his problem, but then it's your problem when you're getting sweated on by like ZX5 2 whatever. Like
Yeah,
like,
I know.
See, the thing is that people like think with if there was to be a non-skill based matchmaking queue where it's just you're getting put up against whoever, people are still gonna try in that. People are still going to play. Like I don't think people realize that like it's not gonna be instantly not sweaty. Like sweats, if they don't feel like playing sweaty games either, then they can just play the casual queue and still what might be considered to you sweat on you.
Well,
like
no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there should be casual rounds. Like, I know, like, yesterday I agreed with it when the suggestion was made. Now I take that back and I disagree with it after, like, looking at the arguments on both sides. Because you can change your opinion. I'm allowed to change my opinion. But, like, I guess my point is, like, with you, Jake, for example, I've seen you talking about people toggling during games so much. Like, you're going to get to a point where you win so many games that you're just going to.
Yeah, at that point, I just stopped
players.
and I stopped and called them all. They got banned and continued.
Yeah, but it's not just
like
that.
that's such a. I think it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah, but
honest.
if you don't have that access, like Bridge is going to be infested.
I mean,
with,
everyone
like,
has
a lot
that
of closet
access.
cheaters.
yeah,
just
you
depends on-
literally have /report and you have the Hive Discord.
Yeah, but
like,
they're not going to get
that's cool.
banned like Jake's ability to get people banned in the first.
Yeah,
like,
they
10
are. They were
minutes of the
kill
game.
warring. Of course they are.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, did they get picked up by the anti-cheat?
No.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter.
No, but if I'm like
Okay.
no, but if I'm a Hive Plus,
I lose one. I lose one ELA rating. Cool, that's fine. I'll
But my
I'll
point
wait.
being is, if I'm a Hive Plus and I report this dude in the Discord, they're not getting dealt with for the next like 4 or 5 hours. Like, if they don't get picked up by the anti-cheat, or they don't get enough slash reports because everyone knows that command exists, they're not getting banned. And you know,
I mean,
They
because
literally
of
have
the-
a.
huh?
Okay, but because of the dodge thing as well, the dodge thing being removed.
Oh, has that
in
been
queues,
fixed?
like
Has
you
that
can
been
just
removed?
you can just requeue now. There's no problem.
I didn't know that had been removed.
Yeah, they took that away the other day.
Oh, okay. So I thought you still got banned for requeuing on the bridge. Okay, I guess that kind of nerfs my point a little bit, but you can understand where I was coming from without knowing that point existed.
That's fair.
I don't know. I still like. I guess there are going to be a lot of closet cheaters higher up though, and that's when it gets a little bit annoying. Yeah, I guess that's my point of wanting casual games. I don't think they should add ranked. That's when it gets like really, really toxic.
Yeah, like people want to like. I've seen people saying like they want actual ranked where they can see their own rank as compared to others. And that would be a horrible idea. Terrible. I tell you.
That people don't. Okay, I'm sorry, but people don't want that. Just want to have like a bigger ego on who's better.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, you do not want that. Not a chance.
Dude, I have like I don't know, I've won like 2,000 games compared to 1,000 games on Treasure Wars, and I still get flamed for my stats. Like, imagine on Bridge when I have like, I don't know, I have more wins than losses, but imagine when it comes to a time of like, I have like 10 times my losses to wins. How badly I'm gonna get flamed for that?
Well, ideally, in a skill-based matchmaking system, though, you should have 50% wins, 50% losses.
But unless you're me, who's just garbage. Like, I won't admit I'm garbage, and that's why, like, I guess I...
But there's no way that you're gonna be like, you're at least okay.
You're not, yeah,
sentient.
Orbitz. There's not that many, like, I guess, invisible brackets if you think about it. I think there's like maybe like 3 or 4, but you're not going to be bottom Orbitz. Like, you're a PC player, which automatically gives you an advantage.
Against
well, no, but
already.
you're not going up against, because on the Hive skill-based matchmaking page, they said you have 3 different ranks. There's still platform matchmaking in it as well. I don't think you're playing against PC players. As a mobile, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
I heard you're not. Yeah, I know that.
I'm pretty sure you're playing with other PC players. But again, you're like sentient. You can like think about what to do. You can play the game, which means you'll automatically be better than the bottom.
I guess it was just more of an example, anyways. Like you'll get. I mean, I guess the point I was trying to get at is you'll get flamed for your stats no matter what they are. So like with a, I mean, 1v1 is disabled. 1v1 chat is disabled because of like the idea of you're not allowed to like 1v1 chat. And like even without the 1v1 chat being like available, the amount of times I've played Treasure Wars and there are other players who are just really toxic in the chat. Imagine how bad it would be after a 1v1 of Bridge against a player.
Yeah. That would be horrible.
Exactly, and
that
like,
would be terrible.
And they haven't disabled. I mean, who knows? Maybe they would have enabled it if they were allowed. But the fact it's disabled, like people are complaining about that as well. That is a bonus. If you lose to a guy 3-0 and they type in chat GG easy, you're a non. Like that is going to infuriate you, and don't pretend it won't, because it will. It'll get on your nerves.
I mean you're right. You're right.
I mean, not just you guys. I guess just the viewers who are watching. Like, oh, he's trying. I'm not chatting nonsense. If that happened to you 3 games in a row against 3 XQWs or whatever, you would get very, very angry. And like, you know, and that's like, I don't know. I feel like people find too much of a reason to hate on the Hive. Like you talked about in the start of the session with Danny's tweet. Like people find anything positive and find a negative. Like there's a difference between me saying what I said today as like constructive feedback. Like they're my personal opinions, but I'm not saying the Hive bridge sucks because they're skill-based matchmaking, because it doesn't. The bridge is still a good game mode. I'm just not a massive fan of the idea of like not having chilled games. But then also, if I did have chilled games, if they had ranked and stuff, then I probably wouldn't be happy with that either. So I'm not being negative because there's no win here. I'm just saying it's like something that I'm not a fan of, but I still like the game mode. Whereas people are fully saying they hate the game mode because of skill-based matchmaking, which makes no sense. So why play it? If you don't like it so much, why are you playing it? Go play on another server, you know?
I get that. That's fair. I think, like you were saying, people will find a way to hate on the Hive no matter what they do. And like there's a difference, right, between actual criticism with potential ideas, talking about how it can be fixed, solutions and stuff like that, and literally just saying this game sucks, anything that the Hive release sucks, the Hive sucks, I don't like the server. Like,
yeah, because I never once hear what they want in the server. People say that I've never once heard a solution or like a game that they want themselves. that they would think is good. Like, not a single one.
I think I talked about this in a deleted video, and I literally just used the like example of, okay, if you have a problem, give an example to fix that problem. Don't just announce there's a problem. And you can't use the excuse, oh well, they're a server owner, so they should fix it themselves. They have fixed it themselves, but you find an issue with it. So give your reasoning and give your example of how to fix. Like with the capture the flag section, I don't like the idea of spawn trapping. I don't like the idea of camping in the spawn. I don't like the idea of TNT. You not knowing who it is. I gave 3 examples of what I don't like, and I gave 3 perfect reasons of how to fix it. People saying, oh, they hate skill-based matchmaking, and then coming up with the idea of ranked and casual when the tryhards are going to get bored of ranked and just go play casual anyways. It's not a reasonable fix, you know?
Yeah.
It's so easy to complain, but no one ever tries to think of a solution.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but you know the way Hive Arcade was like delayed a month.
Yeah.
I think in that month, at least 1 or 2 days should have been dedicated to the partners testing the game modes, and then there would have been like such little less problems, because we like, I feel like when you're making something for like a year or 2, like you can get blinded easily, similar to other like creative projects and stuff like that. But like you don't see what's wrong with it, or you don't see a problem with it until you give another I guess but I definitely think that they should have been tested before with a group of people who were playing it, and could understand like what it would be like to be in like a 12-person game, rather than like a couple of devs testing out a game together 1v1ing. It's not the same.
I mean, I'm sure they I mean, they've got QA testers. They've got a decent amount of staff that I'm sure tested it. But like, it would have been better to probably get wider feedback as opposed to like 10 to 20 different staff members.
Yeah,
I agree to that fully. Mainly on the point of with like. Let's be honest, the owners, maybe they do, but they don't really play, like, I guess the Hive staff, other than MJ, they don't really play Hive much, if that makes sense. Maybe they do, who knows, but compared to the likes of
they don't think of strategies. They just kind of think of what the game's meant to be, rather than what the game wasn't meant to be.
Exactly, so they're not going to think of the idea of someone like, I mean, unless like MJ maybe said something, or if he might have made mistakes, it happens. But like, they're not going to think of the idea of like spawning in, building straight up, bedrock bridging over, and leaping straight. Because they're not looking for strats. They're just looking if the game plays perfectly. They're not looking for this like thing of like, oh, covering up the thing. Like, they made it so you can build straight over it, but then you could build 2 blocks high. They maybe didn't think, oh, people would like do that, which they did. They're not going to think of people trapping people in their spawn, but they did. And they're not going to think of all these like what we would think of as generic players. They just thought of like, I guess, I'm not saying they're noobs, but as like to a new player, like a new player wouldn't try all that kind of stuff. Do you get what I mean? If you're new to Bedrock Edition, I think they should. I mean, they didn't. I'm not saying they used ping glitch as an excuse to delay it by a month. I do genuinely think during that month though, they could have done a lot more, as in like regards to like letting us test it maybe a week or 2 after they delayed it. Then they would have had 2 weeks to get the like fix done for the leap, or the fix done for the build high, and all the other stuff like capture fire could already have color TNT, could be a bit more expensive, all that kind of stuff. Like, we could have tested all of that kind of thing. I guess they just missed out on an opportunity, but I mean, they're fixing it pretty like relatively quickly, right?
I mean, you gotta realize the devs are human as well. Like, I'm pretty sure that like multiple people from the Hive team like went on vacation during that month where they were waiting for the pink glitch, like see maybe if there was gonna be a fix. So obviously they didn't have their full staff team. I don't know how much they were actually able to do, if that makes sense. Like, yeah,
they need breaks too.
Yeah, like, and obviously as humans you're gonna miss things. You're gonna misthink of things, or not think exactly, like not realize what the community is gonna think, or what the reaction to a certain thing will be, or what the outcome of something will be. So like it happens basically. But it's good that they are like taking community feedback now, changing things that the community wants, and like just generally being open to change, I guess.
I think because they had a month as well. They had a whole month of, I mean, which they used for like holidays and vacation, which is fair enough. But I think some of that month like could have been dedicated to more promotion of the game modes, because I mean, like I've said this like a million times. Like, their YouTube is like, isn't it? It's got to be the biggest still in featured servers. Like, maybe similar to Hypixel as well. Because doesn't Hypixel like sort of advertise their stuff on YouTube?
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, like they got like, what was it, 200k views the last time I checked on Sonic, like the Sonic release. So like I think it could have been capitalized on like a trailer or something on YouTube, because it's just free promo, which probably wouldn't have taken that long. I mean, they had about a month. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
I guess so.
Yeah. I don't know. They'll figure something out. I guess on that note of promoting things, right, Jake? I heard that properly. But make sure to check out the Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, go listen to the podcast on Spotify because we're trying to promote that more. Also, check out the Inside Highlights YouTube channel. Thank you, Potato Pie 25, for joining us today. If you want to promote anything also while we're doing this.
Potato Pie on everything except Instagram.
Yeah, so we finally
Potato Pie 25, I guess I should say, probably. Yeah, there you go.
Potato Pie 25. Yeah, that's the law behind the Potato Pie 25 tag thing. Do you want to promote yourself, Jake, sir? All right,
Jakester on YouTube. Okay.
No, go on. I'm sorry.
Jakester on YouTube and Jakester MCP on Twitch.
Nice, and then I'm Insane Orbits, like, everywhere, pretty much. Other than, I don't have an Instagram, so if you find Insane Orbits on Instagram, it's on me. Anyways, thank you all for listening to the Inside Minecraft podcast. You've both been amazing. This is the Hive Arcade drama. There's a lot more drama to come in the next few weeks, so maybe we'll have Potato Pie on to talk about even more drama. Ooh, you guys love these kind of podcasts, right?
Yeah.
All right, did you guys enjoy this?
Yeah.
No, it was horrible.
Nice. All right. This has been the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything you need to know inside Minecraft. Thank you all for listening. Have a good day. We'll be back next week with another guest. Yeah. Bye.